Okay, so here I am, here with Brent Reed. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Brent, okay. And Brent, you and I have spoken a few times by messaging each other. You've expressed your openness to record our session. And this is going to be for educational purposes so people can see how it works, how hypnosis works. And I want to thank you for being open to do it. So it's very brave of you. So
Thank you for doing it.
yeah, of course. Your issue is the actual social anxiety, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay,
It's
okay.
it's I want to say there's not even a word to express it. I guess I could say crippling, debilitating, and that doesn't even scratch the surface. It's I'll put it like this. It's controlled my life ever since I was probably 8 or 9, and I'm 41 now. So you can just imagine each year how it's just gotten worse and worse, and that's over 3 decades. So it, it's at
Three
a point now
decades.
where, yeah, it's at a point now where I can't even go out in public without feeling like somebody's choking me. Like
Wow,
I can't even
wow.
breathe. I can't even breathe. Yeah.
Somebody's choking you. Is it like men or women, would you say? Or both?
No, it could be either one. I did some research, and it turns out that the social anxiety, it causes your vocal cords to tighten, and mine tighten so tight that I can't breathe. So so that's what it was, because I couldn't figure it out for years, and I would go to doctors and I would try different medications and stuff, but it turns out it's all psychological,
Yes, I
believe it or
can see
not.
that.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
crazy.
let me show you something here, okay? This is you,
Okay,
okay? This is all the people, men and women, okay? All different kinds. And they're not, see, this is a face. They're not looking at you, right? So they're just like, this is you. You're looking at them, but they're like kind of like all over the place, and they're not looking at you because this would be like if they were looking at you, you would see this, like with their faces.
right.
But what you're expressing to me, there is like a field, like a matrix data that you're projecting right now. And in
Yeah.
your field, they're actually kind of like, you feel like they're looking, but they're kind of like, they're doing their own thing. Um,
Yeah.
and oh, there we go. Hold on. Mm, okay. And now they're looking actually. This is what it feels like to you, right? That they're all looking at you.
Totally,
Yeah.
100%.
Right,
100%.
right, 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 right. Okay, okay. Okay. And you feel like they're going to suffocate you, like choke you, right?
Right, because I've been living with like shame ever since I was a kid, because like I didn't have any friends, and I was the youngest of 3 children, and my siblings kind of ignored me or whatever. My parents never really cared. So I pretty much grew up my whole life alone, and so I didn't have any friends, and I got like bullied horrendously throughout my childhood, uh, to a point where I kind of, I was ready to end my life. And so
You
I
know,
kind of
there's
had,
the sound is like it's not that great. Is there any way to to improve? Because you're speaking into computer, right?
okay,
Yeah. Okay, so what I'd like to say is that you're telling me a story. It's been debilitating, okay? That it's been hurting your life. And yes, you were bullied as a young kid, right? Do you know that bullies are, um, I mean, they're everywhere. It's a known archetype, right? Bullies are, they just want to put down, they want to dismiss, and they can feel who they can take advantage of. It's like it's a game. It's a, you know, it's a dynamic. It's extremely attractive to them. They're looking, they're like, they're they're looking for the one they can pick on, basically. You know?
That's been me my entire life.
Yeah. And so what do you think is it that they've been finding in you? What is it?
Well, like I said, I didn't have anyone to like support me. So I was kind of weak and alone and by myself. So I was the perfect target for a bully because I've got no support system and I've got no confidence, no one to tell me, you know, you're okay, you're good, you're a great person. No one's ever told me that my entire life. So I've never had self-esteem or confidence at all. I've had to fake it my entire life. So whenever bullies see me, they know that
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I'm nothing. I'm a hollow shell trying to pretend like I'm tough, but I'm really just an easy picking for them.
I'm
So
nothing.
I've
Okay.
carried around
Okay.
that shame this my entire life. So that's why the social anxiety has been so debilitating because it's like I'm
Right.
afraid someone will see that.
Mm-hmm.
And
Okay. Well, first of all, right now, um, it's a different time. You're grown up, and people don't bully these days, right? Like, I mean, sure, there you can meet those kind of individuals, but it's not accepted, you know? It's a bit difficult when we're young because kids, they have their own energy, their own communication that cannot be seen by adults. That's why adults need to be on top of it to
right,
really come down to that level and watch who's doing it because it can be so nuanced. The abuse can be energetic. They can just look at you. They can just say one word that not a single teacher or adult will hear, but they can do it to you, you know? It's like a secret, you know, that is between kids. So they can be extremely abusive in that way. Like, right? So
you're right.
yeah, and you're the one who knows what's up, and you can be shameful to tell other people or the grown-ups if you don't have anyone to talk to. Where were your parents, your mom and dad?
My dad was always working. He was the breadwinner, so he was working all the time. Um, my mom was just concerned with other things. I just wasn't important to them. I mean, I accept that now. It is what it is, but that's I was just by myself. I had nobody. So it just carried on into adulthood, basically.
And so now you've sold a script.
Yeah, I sold a horror film. I'm actually producing it too. I've looked at like 1,000 reels these past 3 days because I'm doing casting right now. So yeah, I sold it. I'm producing it, and I'm starring in it.
Okay, so what is the arc in that story?
Okay. The arc is that the protagonist well, actually there's two protagonists. It's a short film, but there's two protagonists. So the main protagonist, his girlfriend is a monster. She's a freak. And he doesn't want to accept that. And at the
Are you playing
very
him? Are you playing that guy? Are
I'm
you
playing
playing?
him, yeah. I'm
Okay,
playing
so
him actually.
tell me.
I'm a park ranger, yeah. So
Okay.
at the very end, once he has no other choice and all these people are coming to kill him, he has to let his girlfriend be who she is and he has to accept it. And he lets her go and she becomes the monster she is and she saves his life.
She saves his life
Yeah, she saves his life.
from bad guys.
Yeah, from these escaped convicts that are coming for him.
Ah, escaped convicts. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's about acceptance. This is a story about acceptance.
That is exactly it. And she has to accept it too because she didn't want to tell him that she was a monster, but at the very end she comes out and tells him that, you know, she's a monster and she's like, you got to either accept me or let me go. And you know, at the very end he accepts her.
Okay, well, you have a monster inside of you,
Yes. Yes.
right?
Huge. It's like a hulking, oh man, I can't even describe it. It's bad.
What is this monster? So tell me about that monster inside. What does he want?
Um Well, I guess there's two. There's the one that's afraid, and there's the real me that's trying to get out. Because the real me is nothing like what I project. And that's why I got into acting, because it allowed the real me to come out. Because for the longest time, I've been scared of people, but I knew that I could overcome it if I just had, you know, a support system or something. So there's the monster that's like terrified of everyone and everything and just wants to hide in the corner. And then there's the real me, the
I guess, the real monster that wants to be accepted and wants to communicate and wants to come out, but he's of course scared of the other monster. So I kind of got two
Okay.
monsters going at each other.
Okay. So two monsters. One is the
Yeah.
one that is afraid to come out,
Yes.
and the other monster is what again?
The other monster is the true me, my real personality. I didn't know this until a few years ago. It's nothing like this scared, innocent, bullied child that I've
Yeah.
been living. I'm nothing like that in real life. And I didn't find that out until I started acting. So the other me is the real outgoing, outspoken, strong,
Yeah.
proud, unafraid me, but it's been scared for so long by the other one that it never comes out.
Okay.
I know I hate
So
to complicate it, but
no,
that's
no, you're not complicating.
exactly what it is. It's just two people.
So
There's a real me and
the
a real
monster
me.
is bullying the good you, the other you, right?
Yes, the real me that wants to come out, that's there. I know it's there and I've seen it. I've only seen it once, but it's there
So basically, all of this is happening within you. All of that bullying, all that
all the
dominating. Yeah,
time.
yeah,
I
yeah,
once sat down and I like counted how many times that I'm bullying myself and telling myself I'm worthless and deserve to be bullied and I don't deserve life and I'm horrible. And it was like 12,000 times I tell myself that in a day. And that was just within like a few hours. So imagine what that's like over the span of 24 hours.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, it's constantly a constant loop, constant cycle telling me I'm worthless, I'm pathetic, I can't do anything, I
Mm.
don't deserve to live, just everything. It's just
It's the
killing me.
monster. It's the monster. It's very sadistic, and it's kind of like dismissing you. It's really putting you down.
Yeah,
It's putting you down. All
it's
right.
controlling me. It's
Mm-hmm.
controlling everything I do.
Mm-hmm.
Even
Mm-hmm.
right now, as I'm talking to you, it's controlling.
Yeah. Well, the monster is because it's kind of like a self-punishment. Okay.
Yeah, it's shame.
Um.
It's just
mm,
shame. It's shame.
It is
It's
shame.
if
I
I could put it in a
understand.
word, it's shame. It's
What
shame.
if we play with this idea? Just a rather strange idea.
No, I'm up for it. I'm gonna do anything.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So let's assume that life goes on, life continues. This is not the only lifetime you have. Or this is not the only lifetime I have. It's like a fractal sort of art, there's always something grows on top of one another, there's like whole world is happening within you that could be um I, I don't know if you've done psychedelics, but in psychedelics people are able to see it, right? Like ayahuasca or like mushrooms, you get to see those kind of parallel worlds and parallel realities. So I feel that if we just play with this idea, I think in a parallel reality you are a monster that is abusive, to other people. Let's just stay with it, okay? Um, and abusive and enjoying it. Um, and so a parallel reality, or I don't know, past life, whatever. So it's back there back then. We can say back there back then. I was a monster, okay, a bully. How does it feel?
I can see that. I honestly can see that, sadly.
Okay, okay. So it resonates a little bit, right?
Yeah, yeah, it
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
does.
Okay, so here we go. And so you attract bullies into your life because you want to learn a lesson.
Hmm.
Mm. If you're back there back then, if you're that person, okay, so this lifetime you are just punishing yourself, and you don't need to punish yourself anymore. All you need to do is take responsibility that you were a monster, that you were a bully. Does that make sense?
It makes sense.
So let's just do this. Say say out loud, back there and back then,
Back there, back then,
in some other reality,
in some other reality,
in some other time in this unlimited existence.
in some other time in this unlimited existence.
I had an experience of being a monster.
I had an experience of being a monster.
I know how monsters think.
I know how monsters think.
I had a pristine, exquisite experience of being a monster.
I had a pristine, exquisite experience of being a monster.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it.
I didn't realize how many people I heard.
I didn't realize how many people I hurt.
I just was.
Just was.
Maybe I didn't know better,
Maybe I didn't know better.
but it was enjoyable to have that kind of energy.
It was enjoyable to have that kind of energy.
But people got hurt.
But people got hurt.
And so this lifetime, I came to experience something else.
So this lifetime, I came to experience something else.
And I keep punishing myself for that experience from back there, back then.
I kept punishing myself for that experience back then.
Back there and back then.
Back there, back then.
So my inner monster is putting me down.
So my inner monster is putting me down.
So I fell low. I feel low.
So I feel low.
I feel dismissed.
I feel dismissed.
I feel dominated by its force.
I feel dominated by its force.
The inner monster is obliterating me.
The inner monster is obliterating me.
Like a nuclear war machine.
Like a nuclear war machine.
Into nothing.
Into nothing.
So I feel like nothing.
So I feel like nothing.
So I feel like people feel when they are abused by monsters.
So people feel
This way
this way
when they are abused by monsters.
when they're abused by monsters.
Say, now I am curious.
So now I'm curious.
Back there, back then, when I was a monster,
Back there, back then when I was a monster,
did these people feel the same way?
did these people feel the same way?
So just sit with it for a second. Say, now I know how they felt.
Now I know how they felt.
And I take responsibility for my actions.
And I take responsibility for my actions.
I own it.
I own it.
And say, I am sorry. I say, I'm sorry. Imagine all the people back there, back then, that felt like nothing, and say, I'm sorry. All of you, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, all those people.
I'm sorry you felt hurt.
Sorry you felt hurt.
I didn't know how to manage my monster.
I didn't know how to manage my monster.
Okay. Say, now in this lifetime, as Brent Reed,
Now in this lifetime, it's Brent Reed.
I have created a film around me.
I've created a film around me.
I created a scenario where I didn't have the support and guidance.
I created a scenario where I didn't have the support and guidance.
I created the scenario of bullies around me when I was a kid.
I created the scenario of bullies around me when I was a kid.
So I could experience being on the other side.
So I could experience being on the other side.
Say, I am grateful for this experience.
I'm grateful for this experience.
Good. Feel it, sit with it for a little bit. Say, I'm grateful for the experience of being on both sides.
I'm grateful for the experience of being on both sides.
I have paid a full price for this experience.
I paid a full price for this experience.
I'm done paying.
I'm done paying.
Because I took my lesson.
So I took my lesson.
So now I know how to use the monster for good.
So now I know how to use the monster for good.
And I'm going to let my other side come out freely.
I'm going to let my other side come out freely.
I'm no longer ashamed for my inner monster.
I'm no longer ashamed. My inner
Mhm.
monster.
Good. You can open up your eyes and tell me how you feel.
It's like a different type of headspace now.
Right. And this is your movie. This is it. Your movie is about, it's your healing. It is about seeing your monster and accepting your monster. And using the monster in a different way. You know? The monster is not bad. It's bad when it's young, when it doesn't know how to use its powers, you know, when it's like throwing the fire and just erasing villages, erasing like into nothing. It's called obliteration, right? Obliterating. You're a mature monster now. So the mature monster can use its force for good because it's an archetype of a monster, right? A dragon archetype. There's a shadow and there's a light attribute. You're going into a light attribute of a dragon. What is the light attribute of a dragon? Let's look it up. Do you know what the light attribute of a dragon is?
I don't know.
Let's see. Because the shadow is to destroy, obviously, right? And hold on, I'm actually going to pause this. You know, as a storyteller, you understand that we have archetypes, right? I have an archetype of a healer. I have an archetype of a storyteller. I have an archetype of a guide. This is some of my archetypes. There's an archetype of a bully. Light attribute highlights your tendency to intimidate others, helps you confront the inner fears that bully you. Okay, shadow conceals deep fears behind verbal or physical abuse. Okay, that's bully. Destroyer. Releasing what is potentially destructive, preparing for a new life. Ah, there you go. Shadow. Intoxication with destructive power, destroying other dreams. Okay, okay. So maybe destroyer, like a dragon destroyer, kind of like that, right? So the shadow attribute is to intoxication with this power. You're intoxicated. It's a destructive
Right.
power. It's a power that's
Right.
very destructive, right? That's a shadow.
Right.
You destroy others people's either dreams or potential to live, right? Potential to be a human being. You just destroy that. Okay, this is destruction.
Yeah, most definitely.
Now, now the light attribute is releasing what is potentially destructive, preparing for new life. Okay, releasing. So preparing for new life. Interesting. Ah, right, like a big bang, right? Like a big bang, an explosion.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, right. So I think you can focus on that energy to jumpstart new life for yourself, but also for others, for other people around you, because you got that force. It's a force. So your monster or your dragon, right? You can use it to, because Big Bang, fire, it's like releasing something, removing something, and starting something new. It
Totally.
happens, right? These things
Totally.
happen on Earth. So maybe there's a way to use it as in the creativity or something else, where you just use that force to. The Big Bang was not bad. The Big Bang created um, this life, the world, right? So maybe with that force, you can create things, you know? So that's something for you to think about. Don't be ashamed. Don't fear, because right now you have an experience of it's bad, you're fearing it, right? You're like feeling bad about it. Let's say from that back then, that experience. So now the lesson here is to accept it. I accept my inner monster and I use him for good. I accept my inner monster and I use him for good. Okay, maybe for justice, maybe for activism, maybe to tell stories that change people's lives or change people's perceptions. You know, it's the change mechanism. That's your power. You know, And the other lesson is, yeah, you have that power in you. You know it. You know it. You're not gonna let that dragon sleep anymore. You're too afraid of the dragon. You're too ashamed of the dragon because maybe back then it did hurt people. Maybe that's true. Look, there's no proof for past lives or anything like that. This is a plot that you are telling me as we speak. Like it's a plot, and we're just trying to create an ending to this plot of yours. It's an ending. Right now, the story is I have I fear monsters around me. They can hurt me. They can, obliterate me. Um, because there's an inner monster in me that I'm not allowing out. He's a bad guy. I'm ashamed of him because back then, he was all over the place. He also hurt people, and I know that he hurt people, and I will be hurt the same way I hurt others, like a cycle.
Right.
So the way to end this, to end any story, is the culmination. This is your bringing yourself to the climax right now is to I accept and acknowledge I was that monster. I accept and acknowledge that I hurt others. And I'm sorry I hurt others. And I take responsibility for it. When we take responsibility for something, we're we're clearing it. We're creating a new beginning. Because when we don't take responsibility, it's like a confession. When somebody goes to confess their sins to a priest or a holy person, you confess and say, I've done this. I made a mistake. Not I You don't say I did this because they made me, or I did because no, I f up, I made mistake. I didn't know better. I listened to the dark side. I made a bad choice. I own it, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That's the confession. So it's a kind of like you're doing that experience of accepting what you've done, taking responsibility, saying I'm sorry, and I'm not gonna do this again, kind of thing, right? So now I'm gonna use my monster for good. I'm gonna change, be a change agent with my monster. So now you're not in conflict anymore. You don't need to be afraid of people. You don't need to go from this here and there. You don't need to feel ashamed. That's it. You're now in contact with yourself and these two parts. You're in a monster, now mature, more awake, more aware, more mindful. You can allow him out. He doesn't need to be incarcerated. Incarceration, convict. You see, that's not the thing. He's like incarcerated. So does it make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Let's integrate everything. So I want you to close your eyes. Take a nice and deep breath. Inhale deeply. Move your attention into your body. Become aware of your whole entire body from the top of your head to the tips of your toes. Empty your mind as much as you can. If you have any thoughts coming into your mind, push them away into the distance. Allow your mind to become thoughtless. Feel energy in your body and how your heart is beating. If you need to adjust yourself and straighten your body, you can do that. Move your attention into your arms and silently say these words, my arms are relaxed and heavy. In your mind only. Move your attention down into your legs. Say the same words, my legs are relaxed and heavy. And go deeper, relaxed. And now imagine yourself at the top of the staircase, a spiral staircase. If you can imagine, good. If you can't, you can just think about it or just listen to the sound of my voice. What if you were to take the spiral case down? Would you be bare feet with shoes or socks? If you can see your feet, take the steps down. Sometimes when we imagine things can appear quite either random, unrelated. It can't just be this exact staircase, or it can be, you could take the step down and suddenly fast forward it 3 steps down. Anything is possible in the imagination. I'll look to the sides if you see any walls. And keep going down, down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 door. A door appearing in front of you. Notice the door. And open the door. Open the door, enter a nice spatial, nice space, room. And sit in the chair. There's a comfortable fluffy chair. And I want you to see a left and right, left and right. There's on the left side, there's like an energy ball. On the right side, an energy ball. And the one on the left represents your monster archetype, your inner monster. On the right side, there is this other side of you, the free, communicative, um, just the kind of social guy that you are. So as you look at the monster, today is that wonderful day. When you listen to this audio session, it'll reinforce again and again. You can look at this monster, that energy ball, whatever it looks like. It can look like a monster, if you will, but just look at it with total love and compassion and acceptance. Know that it is what it is. There's nothing wrong with it. People think there's something wrong with it when that energy is misused. It's a strong energy, wild and strong, and it's a restarter of things. It can be intimidating for some people, and so you're integrating it within you so you can use it for good in some integrative way. That's right. So look at it with acceptance and love, and let the energy in your body, let it flow into your body. Let it give you the energy, accepting it, integrating it in you fully. Acceptance. Now you know how to manage it. You can look to your right and notice the other part of you. I don't know if it's a networker, you, or a teacher, storyteller, but the kind of you that is actually quite social. So feel that energy too, and then welcome it. Welcome it. Tell him it's safe to be here with the monster. You guys gonna be now working together. Let him in. Extend your arms and say, "Come in." Let that energy in. Or if you see a person like you, dressed differently, whatever you want, it's your imagination. Be creative. Let it in. Let both of this energy completely into your body, into your space, integrating safely, nicely, and feel this soothing comfort spreading all throughout the body. Welcome into a new chapter. I'm giving you the suggestions. They're sinking in. From now on, you know how to manage your energies, this force in you that felt a little scary at times, but now you know it's there. You accept it, and you use it for good. You promise to yourself to use it for good, for you to use it for good. You're making this promise to yourself. Perhaps Part of you didn't trust it. Now you're choosing to trust it. You promised yourself to use it for good. Have that intention in you right now. And you can silently say, promise to myself to use this energy for good. And a part of you that is social, connector, maybe you're now even using it more and more in your film as a producer, actor, connected with other people freely, joyfully. You're in contact with people in a safe and free way because you trust yourself. The debt has been paid. You already paid your debt that you thought you had. You're done with it. It is time to shine. It is time to manifest. It is time to create. It is time to do the good that you want to do. You've always had the power within you. You are empowered. You are confident. You're socially confident. That's out of question. You know why things were a little bit out of whack. Now you know. Not anymore. It is all integrated. It is all together, aligned within you. You're in contact. You're in contact with yourself. Your archetypes, inner archetypes, are working together to help you achieve your goals. You speak confidently. You feel good about yourself. Your self-esteem rises. You take only lesson and learning from the past, from all of the experiences in the past. You felt what you felt. You experienced what you experienced. You've been on different sides of this equation. You're good. Take it all in. Now let the energy slowly begin to come back into your body. Feeling good all the way around, feeling empowered, feeling good. I will count from 1 to 5. On the count of 5, you can open your eyes as if you've taken a good nap, refreshed. 1, 2, feeling good. 3, 4, and number 5. You can open your eyes and come back right here, right now. Welcome back. How are you doing? Feeling good? Feeling more accepting of your power?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. There you go. It's a new journey. And look, you've started it. You know, your film is part of it. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You're very brave, very brave. There's no need to punish yourself. There's no need to do any of that. You can just move forward. When do you start shooting the film?
Well, the director said we got to finish casting first, and then we're gonna coordinate schedules and set up the rehearsal and shoot. But right now we're looking at either August or September.
That's great. Can you keep me posted if you need any more assistance? I'm here for you. Um,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I used to be a filmmaker, right?
Not used to be. I
Oh, I'm
don't.
sorry.
Yeah. No, that's fine. I made a film. I made one film, and I've been in film. I am coming back to it, I'm bringing my healer, my therapist together with film. So there's going to be projects coming up. But yeah,
Nice.
I was a full-blown filmmaker, then I took a little break. Let's just put it this way.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
that's
I
right.
watched one of your films. I think you shot in New York.
Yeah, about Russian women.
Yeah, exactly. That's the one.
Mm-hmm. There you go. My first film. Healing, also healing. So,
Yes.
is this your first film, second film? What is it? This
It's
one. You've done this before?
second, the second one.
Mm-hmm. So this is good. Good job. Just keep me posted. I would love to see a film. Yeah, I think that from now on you'll just feel more integrated, more aligned with yourself. You know, allowing yourself to be you. You'll notice yourself speaking in a different way, not stopping yourself. You know, because you trust that other energy to just be. You know, to speak. You're a producer. You're an actor. You're in charge. You know, you're. This is it. You don't need to hinder yourself. Unhinged, but in an empowering, good way, right?
Right. Right.
Good. All right. Good job. It was nice to meet you. Nice working with you. I'm gonna
Same here.
let you go, but let's be in touch, okay?
Okay. Will do.
Talk to you soon.
All
Thank
right.
you so
Bye.
much. Bye
Thank
bye.
you.
Bye bye. You're welcome. Bye, Brent.